Hi everybody, welcome back to Regina's World. If you hear my washing machine going, it's because my washing machine is literally right there and I have a load in the washer obviously. Um, but this is a special video because this is my year review. I wanted to just briefly sit down with you guys and talk about my entire year from the beginning, from January up until right now. It's November and it's really not going to be much of a change by December comes along. But I just wanted to do my year in review of right now, but all of everything that has happened this year. 2022 has been a very crazy year for me, friendship wise, relationship wise, just life wise in general. This has been one crazy, testy year. And I wanted to actually just go over and just talk about it and get it out. Everything that has happened, good, bad, and indifferent. Because I'm trying to figure out when I want to do certain videos, if I want to do certain videos regarding friendships that I lost. You know, two people in specific I really care about. So one, I'm not sure. I probably will never talk about it. Well, I might talk about it here briefly, kind of, but I'm never probably won't go into it because one of my friendships is very sacred, and I will never say anything because I don't have any issues with my friend. It's her companion is who I have an issue with, So, um, but I will briefly talk about why that friendship is no longer right here. But I won't go over what transpired or took place or anything like that. But I did want to go through my year in review and just talk about it, and hopefully 2022 brings a better year for 2023, brings a better year for me, my family, the new people who's going to enter my life, and all of that. So if you want to listen to my year in review, then stick around. Give this video first of all like a thumbs up. If you like me and if I'm looking pretty this morning, give that a thumbs up as well. Comment down below if you guys are is enjoying my vlogmas number one. If you're interested in this video, can you relate to what I went through this year? Anything. If you want to talk about, or if you want to know more about what happened in specific things, you can hit me on my social media, Keyshawn Varice Robinson on Facebook, Sleepers in LV on Instagram. All right. So again, subscribe to this channel, like, comment, and share this video if you care. And let's get into it right now. All right, so the beginning of the year started off great. It started off with a bang. Um, the beginning of the year, of course, is my birthday. My birthday is January 16th. I will be 38 this year. Um, my birthday this year is going to be completely different from what it usually be. Usually, I go out and just celebrate like huge and big. This year, well, 2023, I'm just not feeling it because this year, 2022 has drained me this year. So I just want to do something real low key. I may take myself to a spot. I don't even really want to be around too many people. I had a big birthday plan for myself, but I'll kind of explain why I just decided to not even do that. But the beginning of this year, I started off my birthday with Eddie. I started the year off dating Eddie. And we went for my birthday. I went go-karting. And I forgot what else we did for my birthday. I know go-karting was the thing that we did because we were supposed to go to what are we supposed to go? We were supposed to go to New Mexico. That's right, because I went to a New Year's party at Brandy's, one of my ex-friend now. But we went to a party at her New Year's party, and one of the girls who threw the New Year's party contracted COVID from somebody in California, because this one California had COVID really, really bad, and I contracted COVID, and I couldn't go to New Mexico for my birthday like I had planned. So I stayed here in the city, and me and Eddie went go-karting, and we did something else. It's kind of a blur because I know we were drunk like for 2 days. Like I think I went to a massage one day. He did. He sent me to a massage one day, and then we went go-karting the next day. It was a nice, comfortable birthday, but I would prefer to be in New Mexico, because I always like to travel and go out of town on my birthday. So it started off great. February comes along. I didn't really have any complaints at the beginning of January. February comes along. I moved into my 3-bedroom apartment, and yes, I did. I moved into the 3-bedroom apartment. I had to celebrate my birthday all in the same month. Keyshawn turned 18 on the 25th of January. So I didn't celebrate his birthday at all because I said I wasn't celebrating any more birthdays after 18. You're old enough to celebrate your own birthday with your own friends now. So, but I did give him money for his birthday and say happy birthday. And I think I got him a cake. February comes along. I think we were still pretty good. I think we met. It was probably arguing here and there, but it wasn't like awful or whatever. We was actually really, pretty comfortable. We were having a good time at this point. Like we were really having a good time. We had just came off of Thanksgiving, October, Thanksgiving, December, January, February. We were coming off of a high. We were just having a lot of fun around this time, and he wasn't really having too many problems. The main problem that he was having, that my friends was having with Eddie, was that he was really, controlling, and he liked to be around me all the time. And Leah was having a problem with that. Period. I think she was just having a problem with it. Period. Whether it was a man or female, like she just was very territorial over me in general. I think that she assumed after I got out of my marriage, which was the same thing. I kind of assumed that I was going to be single for a while, and it was just going to be like me and her. But then I got into something with someone else so quickly, and I think she just wasn't. She couldn't wrap her head around why you need to be with this person. Like, so they instantly had beef with each other, and then they just kind of never connected again. February comes around. It was a good February, I think. If I recall, it's still kind of a blur. Beginning of the year is kind of a blur. I know Eddie got me something because he's very romantic and everything. So I know he did something for me for Valentine's Day. I'm sure he did because that's just who he is. I'm sure he gave me some flowers. I'm sure he gave me candy. Something, I probably put it on my Instagram or something because I'm sure we did something on Valentine's Day. I'm not big a Valentine's Day girl, but I'm sure he did something because that's just who he was. March comes along. I don't think nothing was happening in March that I can really, really remember or that kind of stands out. I might have to go to my social media and actually look if there's something in March that could have stood out. I don't think so. April is my son's birthday. That was the cruise. So that was kind of the beginning of. We just had an awesome time in April. That was, on the family's first cruise. We went to my family vacation. We went to Mexico. If you follow me on my social media, you guys would have saw, us on our social media. I don't have a camera and a computer, so I wish I could have recorded a lot more on my cruise. I did what I could on my phone because my phone has terrible memory. I definitely have to get a new phone that has a lot more memory on it. But I did good what I did with our phone. We had a great time in Mexico. We came back from Mexico. We was good for a minute, and this is kind of when the problem started. Like it just kind of, this was when, I guess they were happening, but they weren't happening so bad. By the time his birthday came along, they were to the max. They were like to the extreme. And his birthday came along. I was still trying to rock with him because I remember we were getting rocky. We were arguing a lot. We were fighting a lot. But I was still trying to rock with him and, forgive him for the stuff that he was doing. Because I'm like, it was really not necessary for the stuff that you're doing. Because I'm with you. Like, what more do you want? Like, I am with you. You're all over my social media. I post you every day. People know that I'm with you. Like, what more do you need from me to prove to my loyalty to you that I'm with you, etc. But it was just like nothing was ever good enough. His birthday comes along. We went skydiving for his birthday. And he had the picnic for his birthday. I did a lot for him for his birthday. And even though I did all of that, we ended up getting into a big fight on his birthday. And in the vlog that I was doing, because we were supposed to have that same vlog was supposed to have the picnic that same day. And I had to reschedule that picnic for a later time because we actually got into it that day. We came back from the skydiving and got into a huge fight. This is when the problems escalated to a million at this point, and I started seeing that there's really no relation. I had one foot in, one foot out because he was very volatile at this point. He was really on a lot of hitting the bottle really, really tough. So his drinking was really out of control. So I told him that he needed to go to rehab. He went to rehab for a minute, and I was very proud that he went to rehab, and then he stopped. So it was like they told him at the rehab that because his drinking is so, he's dependent on his drink, like he's a, what do you call those, walking drinkaholic? I don't know what you call it, active alcoholics or something. Functioning alcoholics. He's a functioning alcoholic, so he literally cannot go without alcohol. If he go too many hours without alcohol, he start like he start doing like weird stuff. His body start rejecting, reacting if he don't drink. Like it's crazy. So they say he actually needs to get some kind of pill to combat that, and he never went to the doctor to get the pill, even though I've shown him he had Medicaid and he can go to the doctor to get the pill. He just never went to go to the pill because I don't think he really wants to get off alcohol. He don't want to start drinking. He don't want to stop doing anything he was doing. And so May was pretty bad. May was really bad, actually. It looked fun, it looked good, but May was really bad. And a lot of people think that our relationship was really, really perfect, and it wasn't. It wasn't at all, because I don't really talk about my relationship. Rather, I don't really talk about it unless I'm done with it. Then I'll talk about it. But while I'm in it, I don't really talk about it because I don't feel it's nobody's business but mine, because I don't want who chose you to be in a relationship with. I don't need the world to know or whoever to know what's going on inside this relationship but me and you. He on the opposite is the completely opposite. His how he deal with things, how he deal with his emotions is completely different than how I deal with mine. So yeah, I started seeing that at that point that we needed to break up because of what happened, and he insisted on like, no, we don't need to break up. I knew at that point that we needed to break up right then and there. So I didn't know how to get out of it, but I was like, there has to be a way for me to get out of this relationship. I just didn't know how to because he just didn't want to like let me go. June comes along. It's my friend's birthday. One of the red flags of that I knew me and Eddie was not going to last forever was because I couldn't take him around anybody. Like he's not somebody that you can take around somebody because of his mouth. Not his mouth is really it's just too bad. Like I've never been with somebody who just don't know when to be quiet. Like who just don't know when to be quiet. And if I took him around certain people and there's something that he could use against you, he will. So I learned a long time ago, I can't tell him anything, or my friends or anything personal business, keep it to yourself. Don't tell him anything, because if you do, he's going to remember all of that, and then he's going to use that somehow against you. I didn't know how, but I learned down the line how he uses it against you. But I know for me that I knew I couldn't tell him everything because he had a really big mouth. I learned how to learn a valuable lesson myself, that I can't tell him a lot of things because he will use that against you. Somehow he will find a way. And that's not the kind of man that I want everyone to be. I can't pillow talk to you. I can't tell you anything. I can't trust you to keep your mouth closed. I don't want to be with you. That's just a fact. Like, I can't tell you anything. And he wants to know everything, but then gets mad if you don't tell him something. Like, it's weird. So her birthday was coming up, and I think let me back up. I think sometime in May, me and Brandy had a little thing because her baby daddy was coming out also in May. This was her daughter's birthdays also in May. The end of May, her daughter, my goddaughter, Niecy, whatever you want to call it, is a Gemini, so it's like the last day of May. And her husband also was getting released around that time. And so somewhere around there, we were having girl on girl little situation. It wasn't nothing really terrible, Brandy's a beautiful girl. I think I'm a beautiful girl. Was attracted to each other. We had a little make out session. Eddie flipped out. That was the moment that he went from loving Brandy to the moment that he hated Brandy. We had one kiss or whatever. That was the moment he hated Brandy because he was just like, oh no, somebody wants to. Now I got to deal with a female who wants you. Now he hated Brandy. And from that moment on, he had some kind of vendetta with Brandy. I didn't know what he was going to do, but I learned later what he did. So as I said, me and Brandy had a little rendezvous. Wasn't nothing too bad. Actually, at one point, she wanted to have a threesome with me and Eddie at one point. I said no to the threesome, but for us, because I don't, I valued her not only as my friendship, but I just valued her, and I didn't want to, you know, it's just hard to explain. But if I was going to have that kind of relationship with her, it was just going to be with her. I didn't want her to be intertwined with anybody else. Me personally, I would, if she wasn't my friend, I would have actually, because I love her as a person, right? So if I would have like dated her, I would have like dated her. And if I would have dated her in 20 during this point of time, like actually dated her, if she wasn't my friend, I'm trying to say that so you guys get it. I would have treated her so good, like I would have really treated her like super good, like beyond any way a man ever would have treated her. Like, cause that's who I am naturally, is a provider and all that stuff. But for her, it was just I valued her. Like she was somebody of importance to me in so many different ways. And if she would have ended up like a girlfriend or something, I would have really took care of her and probably changed her life in the process. Because I already loved her daughters, you know what I'm saying? And I loved her a lot. Like, and I still do. So I would have really took care of her way better than a man probably ever could or ever did in her life. And so that's when Eddie pretty much hated her. Her birthday came up and he was not invited to her. Well, she actually invited him. I didn't invite him because I was just like, nah. Like, I don't. Her husband came out of jail at this time. This was her first, big celebration, because she always throw a big party for her birthday. And I missed. It was like the whole weekend. I went on a Sunday. Was supposed to go to the pool party. That was a whole fiasco. Not because of us, because of her husband. And yeah, that was just the start of the downfall of our relationship at that point. Like, that was a downfall. That was a really fucked up weekend as well, because I was really trying to make sure she had a great birthday weekend, or at least that day specific. But nevertheless, moving on to July. By this time, I think me and Eddie is fighting, making up, fighting, making up, fighting, making up, fighting, making up. By this time, I think I'm done fighting with Eddie. And right now, I'm like getting tired of Eddie because of the stuff that he's doing. And I want to say this is around, what is this, November? I want to say probably like August is when he just lost his rabbit mind. Because we officially broke up in August, because I was just really done with his behavior and the stuff that he was doing. So what he decided to do is, this is when my life started turning upside down. At this time, his behavior has gotten so erratic. He has pretty much kind of ran off some of my friends. They don't want to be associated because of him. I never thought that would ever happen, because I'm like, these people have been here way before you. After you're gone, they're still going to be here. I'm like, ride the wave. That's what friends do. Ride the wave. I said, but you can't beat pillow talk. Despite whatever, you can't beat pillow talk. This is when me and Aaliyah's mother's daughter vlog. I'm gonna have a video about that in the future. But this is when me and Aaliyah's relationship, I actually started seeing our friendship actually break down because of one man. I never saw it happen. Aaliyah called me on the phone one night in the middle of the night crying, breaking down, like, I'm losing my friends, blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking it was a prank. But she was really drunk and crying over the phone. I'm calling all the friends that I know that she know, like, hey, we got a situation going on. I don't know what's going on with Aaliyah, but we need to fix this. Like, so she was losing me, and I was like, why do you feel that you need to compete with Eddie? Like, a woman, I'm sorry, man, and a woman, no matter how close we are as friends, you cannot beat pillow talk. You cannot beat pillow talk. You cannot beat a dick. I had to learn that with Brandy as well. I had to accept that with Brandy. As close as me and her one, you cannot beat pillow talk. You cannot beat big. You cannot beat dick. We can't do the one thing that men can do. That's penetrate. We cannot beat pillow talk. No matter how loyal you are to somebody, no matter what you do for somebody, that does not matter if long as you're getting penetrated by somebody. You can't beat pillow talk. So this is when our friendship with Aaliyah started breaking down. I never thought I would actually see it happening because we were so close. But it happened. To this day, me and Aaliyah has really, severed ties with each other. I haven't seen Aaliyah. She don't know anything that's going on in my life. She has not inquired about it. She was actually supposed to take me to get my surgery in October, my hysterectomy, but I had to move it until next year. And she was supposed to accompany, but when I asked her to take me, she gonna tell me then, I'll see. No, you were supposed to be my best friend. If I asked you to take me to a surgery, it shouldn't be I see. It should be, all right, what day you need me, I'm gonna make sure I'm off that day. Because you should make sure you off for any other day. The person who needs you actually needs you for something, you talking about, ooh, you gonna see. I'm like, this is when I realized our relationship is not what it was no more. Because when she needed me, I made sure I was off. You know, when she needed her eyes cut, I made sure I was off to take her. You know, when she's kicking everybody else to the curb or whatever, I'm still right there with her. When she don't have nobody to come to her birthday party, who was coming to her birthday party? I never missed a birthday party until this year. This year, I try to at least make things right for her birthday in August. Like, her birthday's in August. I try to start building the friendship in August. I'm like, hey, we're going to Cowabunga Bay with the children, me, Shatoria, her kids, my kids, blah, blah, bring you, it's your birthday. And she gonna say, nah, I don't want to go to that. I'll find something else to do. Y'all have a good time. Like, she started separating herself from me. And I'm like, I'm trying to rebuild the relationship here because I see, you know, she really had an issue with me and Eddie being together. And she didn't, I don't know, I can't really explain it. And when we did talk previously, she was like, you wanted me to like him. I said, that's not what it is. I don't give a shit if you didn't like him. I don't give a shit if anybody didn't like him. That's who I chose to be with. If I chose to be with him, you don't have to like him. You don't have to be, you wasn't around him. I didn't talk to you about him. Once I learned how you felt, that was the end of that conversation. I never brought Eddie to you ever. Ever. I never said a thing to you about Eddie. Ever. Because I know you feel. So, you let the friendship die because of somebody who I was fucking. Like, that didn't make any sense. So everybody around me was like, it's not because of Eddie, it's because she had a thing for you and she wanted you to be her girlfriend and you chose another man and she took this shit personal. It never came out of her mouth, but honestly, it kind of makes sense because she was the only person who was that damn invested in my relationship with Eddie, who literally like pretty much rocked away from the friendship because of who I was dating. You hated somebody that bad, you was like, I just can't even be friends with Regina no more because she's with him. You hated that person that bad that you ended your friendship because. So after I just started seeing certain stuff, like when we try to rebuild it and start it back over again, and I'm calling and she's not answering, and then she's always saying I'm too busy to talk on the phone. It was just too busy. She was too busy to send a text. I'm like, you can't even answer a text. Oh, I'm just so busy. But then she'll be on Instagram like, oh, I'm finna go out of town with this person, this person, this person, this person. But what are you talking about? But you're so busy. I said, well, who are you calling when you get off the phone, when you get off to work? Because you're calling somebody, obviously, because you made a whole vacation to Arizona. I'm like, you're calling somebody, but you can't pick up the phone and say, hey, Regina, I'm checking on you. You didn't even call after. She didn't even call after she thought. I didn't. She'll have no idea if I even had my surgery. She was supposed to be my best friend. You think she called and said, how was your surgery? How you feel? Do you need anything? I know we ain't vibing right now, but did your surgery go well? Are you healed up? Are you okay? She don't know nothing about what's going on in my life. Why? Because she didn't give a about what was going on in my life. I'm like, so it was I had to accept it. It was painful to accept. Like, this is real interesting. But I'm actually go into this in a whole nother video, like specifically me and her video. And like, so I'm just giving you the back tea of what happened with me and Mother-Daughter Vlogs. Maybe she'll have her own side of the story if she decided to put out a video. She's free to do so. This is from my point of view, and this is what I'm saying. Like, so, I know she felt some kind of way about me putting something on something on Instagram asking, because I forgot exactly what it was. I think it was some kind of text, and it was rude how she was talking to me. So I had put it on my social media, like, if somebody said this to you, how would y'all feel? And then she got mad that I put it on my social media, like, friends wouldn't do shit like that. Yeah, I was. Before I reacted and said something disrespectful to you, because I try to watch my mouth before I say something disrespectful, to somebody that I love. I said, man, let me make sure if I'm tripping or not. If somebody say, no, no, that's cool, you tripping, then I would check myself. But that's not what happened. So she got mad because I put that on my social media. I'm like, well, you shouldn't have said it. I'm telling you how you came off, and you didn't want to hear it. So she had a lot of issues with the kid doing with this whole Eddie thing. So I just had to let it go. You know what I'm saying? After a while, I just had to let it go because it is what it is. You know, it is, and now it is what it is. Like, but so my mother-daughter vlogs relationship. Maybe down the line, maybe, you know, because she uh, uh, made up with Shatori. Somebody said she would never be friends with again after, but it took her about 5 years to do that. so, so maybe down the line, maybe, I don't know, but who knows? I don't hate the girl. You know, we could actually still be friends tomorrow. I said, but you know, this has to be addressed at some point if she want to be friends with me again. Like, but like, you have to tell me the truth. Like, what was it? Because no matter what everybody told her, like, you know, that's her dude. You know what I'm saying? It just didn't make any sense. Anyway,